Most people don't work at the same place for 49 years. And some people don't work for 49 years at all. But Don Meredith is not like most people. Don Meredith wakes up every morning knowing exactly what it is he's supposed to be doing. He is a theological librarian. I can't think of any person I've ever met who I felt was better suited for their work than Don Meredith. I almost feel like he didn't pick this job, this picked him. But it's not just a job. This is the story of Don's life, a life's work. So I'd like you to hear about him and hear about this work through the people who know his story the best.
I'm Philip Slate. I taught here at the school for 21 and a half years and was in administration as the dean for 6 of those years.
Well, I'm David Fisher. I'm now a retired minister and utilize the library frequently.
I am Leon Sanderson, Associate Minister at the White Station Church of Christ.
My name is Shaul Bar. I'm a professor at the University of Memphis. I teach classes on the Hebrew Bible.
I'm Sheila Owen. I'm the Associate Librarian here at Harding School of Theology, and I've been here since 2000.
I'm Bonnie Barnes. I worked here with Don from 1983 to 1992, and I worked as cataloger when he became the library director.
I'm Alan Black. I have been here for 34 years, have been a professor of New Testament. Most of that time, in the last couple of years, I have served as dean.
I am truly honored to be a part of recognizing Don Meredith.
When I first came here, I was a student in 1960 and 61, but our library was meager. It was in the basement of the administration building. But wow, things are different now, and it makes a difference in the level of education.
When I came to the library here, I was working on my dissertation and was somewhat surprised, which I shouldn't have been, that virtually everything I needed for my dissertation was already here, and that the library, of course, was anxious and willing to find any materials they didn't have. And I found that level of support to continue all these years.
In the past 25 years, I'm a regular here because this library has great resources, and this is really due to Don, who really helped me to enhance the quality of my research.
And we have a library that is second to none within a couple of 100 miles of here on every direction. And much of that has been because of Don.
There is a stereotype among librarians that librarians hate, for the most part, that a good librarian will be able to identify any book you want, even if you don't know the author and title, as long as you know the color. Sadly, Don is able to do that much of the time.
His knowledge of the library, and I do say this sincerely, may sound a little out there, but it's not. His knowledge of the library is legendary.
He has an innate talent for knowing his collection.
There is a great story that I like many times to repeat. Many years ago, I Xeroxed several pages from a Hebrew book, and I forgot the title of the book. So I tried and tried. I went to Don, and I gave him those pages. He worked on it for 3 days, and after 3 days, he called me home, and he found the title of the Hebrew book.
Although he had such a great ability to know details and understand details, he was never uptight about it. He was always the most laid-back, detail-oriented person I've ever known.
I appreciate his taking the time that he does, because he's busy. That's obvious by looking at his desk, how busy he is.
He stood behind me when I intervened to the administration in Searcy saying, we need an additional card catalog. Little did we know that we were on the cusp of digitizing everything. But I remember being turned down, and I said, well, what do you want us to use, a shoebox? Don chuckled about that.
He knew his stuff and was an expert and really commanded a lot of respect. But he respected all of us who worked with him too.
I appreciated the fact that he saw scholarship in service of the church. So he appreciated the area of ministry.
He is committed to his work here, and he's been generous in sharing what he has learned with the students, with other scholars, faculty members, librarians across the country and the world.
He is a wonderful teacher because it is in his teaching where he is really exemplary, and he demonstrates his library experience, he demonstrates his studious nature, he demonstrates his research. Of course, he teaches at HST, but he also teaches in his Bible class, and he teaches in other settings. But he's always interested in helping people learn more and more.
Don doesn't know this, but he is one of my spiritual heroes in many ways. Part of that is because of what a humble spiritual man he is.
One of my friends, when I was coming here to work with Don, said, "There's one thing that you need to know about Don before you go." She said, "He has a heart of gold." And I found that to be true.
I appreciate all the work that Don has done at White Station, teaching there for over 45 years and being an elder there since 1990.
One of the important ingredients of Don's work that draws me and I think helps draw others is his character and his friendship. Knowing I'll see Don and have some interaction with him during the time that I'm here, it kind of helps, it does help make a day at the HST library a positive experience. And that's greatly appreciated, Don.
Don, thank you very much for the contribution you made. It was an act of faith, and you've done good that stretched out to the four corners of the earth. Thank you very much for your longevity, your kindness, and your efficiency in doing what you did.
I'm really grateful for getting to work with Don for those years, and I wish him and Evelyn the best always.
Don, thank you for your work here. Thank you for the example that you've given, the care that you have for the history of our church and our movement, and your work to continue that movement. Thank you for being a mentor. Thank you for being a friend.
I want to thank you, Don, for your unselfish labor and giving of yourself, you and Evelyn both, to the library and to us who are part of the church community in Memphis that you are so welcoming to. Thank you.
Especially happy, Don, to wish you happy 49 years serving here at HST in the library. God bless you and Evelyn.
Thank you, Don, for all that you meant to me and to this school and to the church.
Don, I would like to thank you for all those years, for all your help, for your kindness, for your time, and for your friendship. And I don't know if you remember, but I'm a Levite. And this is a tradition that, goes from father to son in the past several thousands of years. So for a finale, I would like to bless you with the priestly blessing. The Lord blesses you and protect you. The Lord deal kindly and graciously with you. The Lord bestow his favor upon you and grant you peace. Thank you, Don.
You know, Don, there's many more people who are grateful for what you've done who aren't on this video today. Think about the thousands of people who have studied at this school, who have some piece of your legacy in their mind, in their study habits, and in their lives. You know, some of you may not know, but Don actually has graded over 1,400 bibliographic essays for his class. Now, that might not sound like a lot, but I want to tell you, he spends over 8 hours at least grading each one. So if you do the math, that breaks down to the fact that he has spent over 5.5 years of Monday through Friday grading these papers. That's a huge commitment and a lot of red ink. Finally, we need to mention the collection. Don, when you started here in 1968, there was 24,000 books. When you became head librarian in 1983, there was 67,000 books. As you depart now, there are 147,000 books. There are people who may never meet you. There are people who may not ever even know your name, but your legacy will be known through their use of this collection. We are so appreciative of what you've done for the students, the faculty, the staff, and the greater community through building this great collection.